וקולי יישמע כזעקה, כתפילת האדם, וליבי יקרא.
פחד כי לעולם איני בודד, לא אאבד כי לצידי תמיד עומד אל גדול ונורא אשר במות אפיו ברא עולמות ונשמות ואת ארצו היחידה. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לבדי, לא ירא רע, לא אפחד, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, ולא אהיה יותר ירא, כי שומר עלי קוני. בגיא צל מוות לבדי, לא ירא רע, לא אפחד, כי אתה עמדי.
היום יום הזיכרון לחללי צה"ל ונפגעי פעולות האיבה.
Today is the day of remembrance of the fallen soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and the victims of terrorism.
כל שנה כשהדגל מורד לחצי התורן מתכנס עם ישראל עם זיכרון בניו ובנותיו הנופלים.
Year to year, as the blue and white flag is unfurled, the nation of Israel is as one with the memory of its fallen soldiers. Please rise for the lowering of the flag and a minute of silence.
We would like to invite Rabbi Lubitz for the reading of Yizkor.
Please rise for the reading of Yizkor.
El Molei Rachamim Shochein B'Meramim Hamezeh Menucha Nechona Al Kadfei Hashchina B'Malot Kedoshim Tehorim V'Giborim Kezor HaRakia Mazhirim Lenishmot HaKadoshim Shinchamu B'chol Marachot Yisrael U'Batzava Hagana L'Yisrael Shenaflu B'Machlatam U'Masru Nafsham Al Kiddush HaShem Ba'avur She'anu Mipalalim Lilui Nishmepoteihem Lachein Balarachamim Yasirei Beseter Knefav Leolamim Vitzror HaChayim Et Nishmoteihem Adonai Nachalatam V'yanuchu b'shalom Al mishkavotam V'tamud l'chol Yisrael zechutam V'yamdu l'goralam l'keit hayamin V'nomar Amen.
Shivim v'arba shnot atzma'ut. Shivim v'arba shanim shel hagana al zchutenu lichyot b'artzenu ka'am chofshi. Shivim v'arba shanim shel ovdan u'shchol.
74 years of independence. 74 years of defending our right to live in the land of Israel as a free people. 74 years of loss.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם.
היום, בסמוך לשעה 2 אחרי הצהריים, פתחו צבאות מצרים וסוריה בהתקפה נגד ישראל.
לכלותנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, הקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו
ביום הזיכרון לחללי מערכות ישראל הכל עומד מלכת. כל הפעילות נפסקת ועם ישראל מתקצה בעצב גדול. בבתי העלמין יונחו פרחים על קברים, מאבן ומשפחות יתאחדו עם זיכרון אהוביהם.
On Yom Hazikaron, the day of remembrance for those who gave their lives to defend the nation, all activities stop. Daily routines cease as Am Yisrael is enveloped in great sadness. In the military cemeteries, flowers will be placed, tears will be shed, and families will join with their loved ones.
הורים יזכרו את ילדיהם, ילדים יזכרו הורים, יזכור אחים ואחיות, חברים ושכנים.
Parents will remember children they have lost. Children will remember parents they have lost. We will remember lost brothers and sisters, lost friends and neighbors.
Rachel Shapira, a leading poet in Israel, grew up in Kibbutz Shfayim. Following the Six-Day War in 1967, she wrote a beautiful poem in the memory of her friend Eldad Kruk, Zichrono Livracha, with whom she grew up in the kibbutz and who was killed during the war. This poem speaks of a young man whom God has blessed with countless blessings, both physical and spiritual. However, the poem ends with a cry. Elokim, Elokim, lu rak berachta lo chayim. O God, God, if only you had blessed him with life.
נתתי לו כל שאפשר לי לתת, שיר וחיוך ורגליים לרקוד, ויד מעודנת ולב מרטט, ומה אברך לך עוד.
עכשיו ומעלה, לא עוד יברכו, לא עוד יבורך, אלוקים, 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 רוח ורק לו חיים.
24,068 fallen soldiers and civilians in terrorist attacks since 1948 and until today.
אם היית נותן לי אלוקים לבחור רק משאלה אחת מכל ים המשאלות, הייתי מבקש אחת זהירה. תן לי רק 5 דקות איתו בחזרה. דקה אחת לומר לו שאני יודע שהוא צריך ללכת. דקה שנייה לומר לו שלעולם לא אשלים עם לכתו. דקה שלישית שעל הבחירה דווקא בו אני קצת כועס. דקה רביעית לומר לו שאני כל כך אוהב אותו. ודקה חמישית לבקש ממך, אלוקים, אולי תוותר ולא תיקח לי אותו.
God, if you allowed me to choose only one wish from a sea of wishes, I would have one meager request. Give me back 5 minutes with him. In the first minute, I would tell him that I know he had to leave. And in the second minute, I would tell him that I will never accept his going. And in the third minute, that I am angry about him being chosen. And in the fourth minute, I would tell him that I love him so much. And in the fifth minute, God, I would beg of you, don't take him away from me.
תן לי מחר, בו אוכל, שוב להחזיר על הזמן. שהיה בי סגור, תן לי מחר, בו אוכל, לשנות את הכל. תן לי לכתוב מחדש את סוף הסיפור.
Grant me a tomorrow in which I can turn back time. Grant me a tomorrow in which I can change it all, to rewrite the ending of the story. If you will only grant me this, I can imagine. I can break through the walls of my loneliness, through the walls of silence. This wish is portrayed in the following song, sung by IDF orphans and the singer Roni Delumi.
תן לי את האש שחודרת בי ונשמת בוערת עד עומק ליבי. תן לי את הרוח שאף פעם לא תרד בחול, היא כותבת את שמי. תן לי את בית סוהר לראות את כל הזוהר שבא להאיר את דרכי כי כבר החושך סוגר לי את הדלת חום אקשור אל תוך מיטתי תן לי מחר בו אוכל שוב להחזיר על הזמן שהיה בית סגור תן לי מחר בו אוכל לשנות את הכל תן לי לכתוב מחדש את סוף הסיפור כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לדמיין אז אוכל לנפץ את קירות בדידותי כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לסכם להעביר ולשרוף את חומות שתיקתי תן לי את האש שחודרת בי ונושמת בוערת עד עומק ליבי תן לי את הרוח שאף פעם לא עוצרת בחור היא כותבת את שיר תן לי מחר בו אוכל שוב להחזיר על הזמן שהיה בי סגור תן לי מחר בו אוכל לשנות את הכל תן לי לכתוב מחדש את סוף הסיפור כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לדמיין אז אוכל לנפץ את קירות בדידותי כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לסכם להעביר ולשרוף את חומות שתיקתי כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לדמיין אז אוכל לנפץ את קירות בדידותי כי אם רק תיתן אז אוכל לסכם להעביר ולשרוף את חומות שתיקתי
לכל איש יש שם, שנתן לו אלוקים ונתנו לו אביו ואמו. לכל איש יש שם, שנתן לו קומתו ואופן חיוכו.
Every man has a name which was bestowed on him by God, and by his mother and father. Every man has a name which was given to him by his stature and his smile. Each one had a name and a family, friends, an entire life which ended and which we remember today.
נזכור את כולם, הם משפחתנו וחברינו.
We remember them all. They are our friends and family.
ארז סגי איציק קולנגי ראובן מגן מלאכי רוזנפלד איתי מעודה קובי בן שם, אסתר אלון, מוטי דיין, פרד גוס, אלן סובן, גדי רז, מרלה בנט, דניאל ברזילי, ירון שרעבי, צביקה קפלן,
זה יום קשה. This is a hard day. A hard day for many people in our school. A hard day for Medinat Yisrael and the Jewish people. We at school are very lucky. We're rich indeed to have so many people in our school from Israel, teachers, staff, and administrators. And we benefit from them each and every day, inside and outside the classroom. We do our best to be empathetic, we do our best to understand, but know that we fall short. We too wish that we could turn back time. We too wish that things were and could be very different. But we don't have that ability to make that change. But we do have the power, we do have the ability to be present, to see you, to empathize with you, and to feel a little bit of your sadness and your loss. In a moment of togetherness, present, and achdut, I want to thank the students for being up here and let them go down. And it would be my honor to have anybody in the room who has served in Sava or has lost somebody in Sava or a terrorist attack to please come up to the stage with me and join me in Hatikva. Again, please join me, anybody who has served in Sava or has lost a dear one in the defense of Medinat Yisrael or a pigua, to please join me on stage for Hatikva. Please rise. Kol od baleva. So at this time, we are going to have the lower school exit through the back of the exit. And I want to remind you that showing kavod is to exit the building, the room, quietly and orderly, and the rest of the students and our guests will remain as we continue our program. Again, please exit with kavod and silence.
מבקשות את העזרה, להמשיך איתך את המסע. בצדדים הפרחים כאילו איבדו את זהותם, מחפשים עוד קרן אור שתעזור, ודמעה
want to take a moment just to thank everybody who makes, as we call them here, the Yoms, so meaningful and powerful. All of our staff, and today particularly those who are involved, and Tali and Amir. And it's my pleasure to introduce, or bring up Tali to introduce our special speaker.
Boker Tov. If you know me, you know that I'm a behind-the-scenes kind of person. We have a very special delegation, visitors visiting us this morning. We have the Consul General of Israel of the Southern States, Anat Sultan Dadon, and with her we have a family of Erez Sagi, Zichrono Livracha, who was killed in action in Tzuk Eitan, in Operation Protective Edge. And with his family is also his commander, Shlomi Cohen. And we would like to invite them to share their stories and personal feelings about this day.
Sergeant Erez Sagi was killed in action on July 28, 2014, during Operation Tzuk Eitan, while fighting Hamas terrorists. They had dug a tunnel from Gaza to Israel, crossed the border, and attacked Sergeant Sagi's pillbox near Kibbutz Nahal Oz. He was buried in the military cemetery in Haifa and promoted to the rank of sergeant. But instead of describing in detail how he died, I would tell you who Erez was and how he lived his life before he was killed at age 19. Erez was born on January 4th, 1995, to loving parents Edna and Ilan Sagi. He later became the caring and protecting big brother to his two younger sisters, Noam and Shai. As a child, he was always surrounded by many family members and friends. He was curious and adventurous and was up to trying anything that he or his friends came up with, as long as it was a new, challenging experience. When Erez was 15 years old, he decided to apply for the IDF Junior Command Military Academy in Haifa, a prestigious junior-level boarding school founded in 1953 by Ben-Gurion. Erez was admitted and decided to join the military academy together with a small group of young people handpicked from over 1,000 candidates from around the country. Erez spent his high school years as part of an elite group of high school students combining advanced academic education in the Hebrew Reali School with military training during school breaks. During these 3 years, he prepared himself to become the commanding officer of an IDF combat unit. Despite this very demanding reality during the 3 years he spent in the military academy, Erez fell in love with the military academy and the many friends he made over the years. Of the many things that could be said of Erez, there is one that every person who knew him would agree describes him best. Erez was the best friend one can wish for themselves. The way he loved his friends and cared for them, and how he made sure they used their time to fully experience every moment, was unusual. Erez was a true friend. He was always there for his friends, also physically. No matter how far they were from him, he always traveled to be with them at important times, even when they didn't ask or expect him to be there. His friends knew they could ask Erez anything, and he would do it above and beyond the expectation, with endless amounts of love. Erez drew much of his confidence and strength from being loved so strongly by his family. In his house, he was like a king in his castle. His house was always open, and his family got used to cooking for so many people on very short notice, because Erez kept inviting friends over, and his friends loved spending time there. Erez lived for only 19 years, but he did not miss a single moment or a single experience during his short life. He could have been 26-year-old today, a captain or a major, like many of his friends that still serve in the IDF, or like others who have already started their post-military civil careers. Many weddings are planned for the next couple of months, and not having Erez there will be very hard, since everyone knows he would never miss his friend's life celebration if he was still with us.
Thank you for inviting me to join you today. Tomorrow, we will be celebrating Israel's 74th birthday. The modern state of Israel is 74 years old. But before we start our celebrations in Israel, we take a day today to remember. We stop to remember the miracle that is our country and those who have paid the highest price to make this miracle possible. We honor the memory of 24,068 fallen soldiers, men and women, who have fought to protect our independence and our continued survival. And we honor the memory of 4,216 victims of terror in Israel and abroad. Behind these numbers lie names, faces, life stories, and dreams which came to an abrupt end. The miracle of Israel's existence, the reestablishment of the nation state of the Jewish people in our historic homeland, the flourishing country that we take great pride in, has come at a great cost, at the heaviest price of the lives of our people's sons and daughters, committed to the words of our anthem, Hatikva, Liyot Am Chofshi Be'artzenu, Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim, to be a free people in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. It is thanks to all those who have paid the ultimate price that we are able to celebrate our regained sovereignty. The modern state of Israel is 74 years old, but our history as a Jewish people goes back thousands of years. Throughout those years, we have been a small but very strong people, strong in our spirit, in our traditions and values, which have kept us united as one people, even during difficult times when we did not have independence and we had no state and no army to protect us. You all are part of that long tradition of a small but strong people, a part of a long tradition of heroes, from the Maccabees, King David, Samson, and many more historic Jewish heroes to the heroes of today. The times have changed, but our strength and determination as a people have not changed and continue to be strong. Thank you for taking the time today to remember, for remembering the miracle that is the state of Israel, as well as the price that we have paid to ensure that that miracle continues to exist and shine. May the memory of our fallen loved ones be forever blessed. Yehi zichram baruch.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your kavod and your respect. This concludes our program, and you can return to your classrooms as assigned. And please do remember that the way we exit is also